What's going on, my friends? Hope you're having a good day and hope you're having a good week. As always, God bless you, God bless your family, God bless America, and God bless the world. I'm here today to talk about three stories. It's going to be a long, fun day. It won't be that long. Hopefully, we can wrap it up in under an hour. But I want to talk about, first of all, Floyd Mayweather goes to town on black activists and rappers who are calling him out over the Gucci scandal, and his response was incredibly brilliant. A lot of people say that Floyd Mayweather is not very smart. You know, a lot of rappers make fun of him, say he can't read and say stuff like that. But man, I understand he might not be the most highly educated per se in the English language, but my boy Floyd Mayweather is a true patriot. He's also a good guy. I mean, I don't know that for sure. I know he's got a lot of controversies, but he's really making a lot of sense. And I like to call the truth out when it comes. I got to get this point down because then people will be like, anomaly, your hat's too pointy. I'm like, it's a red sweatshirt. They're like, well, your sweatshirt is in blackface. It's in red face. It's discriminatory. And it's like, oh my goodness gracious. We'll talk about it. And then the second and third story is Twitter and Beto O'Rourke start acting like terrorists. I'm not saying they are terrorists, but they sure are acting like them. And I don't want to get into it now because that's the second and third story. But my, oh my, is the leftist media and political class crumbling under their own delusion. I guess if you hate Trump enough, you're allowed to do anything, including tearing down a border wall and giving a puff piece to ISIS. That's correct. That really happened. We're going to wait for everyone to get in the live stream. I'm going to play my new song, Matrix Breaker, produced by the Justice League Grammy Award winning production duo or trio. Let's listen to that. We'll vibe out for a minute or two, and then we'll begin. Thank you guys so much for joining. And people who want to watch this on Facebook later, I'm going to take clips of this, and I'm going to put it on Facebook Live as well, so you can watch it there. Yes, sir. This is Matrix Breaker, my new song available on YouTube and SoundCloud. Sorry, explicit parental advisory warning. It's got a few curses. It's for the streets.
You just talk about women and drugs like they wanted me to kill the kids or some shit. But, you know, I went my own route. 250 million views. No deal, no label, no manager. Y'all fucked up. Listen. Hold up. I'm bringing hip hop back. They tried to kill it like an outfit. Rest in peace, the prodigy. Sorry, the system got you. They sleeping in the streets, but they feel this in Zimbabwe. Spend a trillion fighting war, but still ain't living up the projects. It's a mindset, and they don't want you to find straight. I might flex and raise the children to heights. Yes, I know these rap sites ain't gonna give me that interview, cause in 10 minutes I could probably brighten up the inner you. They don't want you to have self-awareness. They want you helpless, careless. They want you dead on welfare. They want you ready to bring hell here. They want you fighting in the streets, so you're not grateful for the freedom in this country. Hell yeah. They want you locked up or voting for them liberals. That means bigger government. Don't get this shit confused. They use emotion so your instincts get switched and skewed. They take your taxes and gun rights like this is cool. I'll make it drizzle like Mayweather and Mayweather. You may weather the storm, but the kid better. Y'all transparent like your kids switch genders. You see through. I see you and I ain't a scared fella. I'm a warrior. If words are weapons, not this gorier. The women wanna touch me from Echo Park to Astoria. These hipster women like craft beer and Netflix. She's innocent and she's friendly. Some girls are undercover sluts. They like CBD spoil. It's trending around the map now like CBD oil. You gotta wrap it up. I call it easy E foil. Y'all some obsolete pieces like a DVD coil. Y'all ain't fucking with the kid. R. Kelly's bodyguard, but he ain't the only one. What the fuck you think they lobby for? They say I work too much and I should hobby more. Skyscraper flow, you chillin' sitting on the lobby floor. They say anomaly, I don't like your rapping. I think to myself, you know what I don't like? The fact that I've accomplished more in a day of my life than you have in 3 decades. You ain't playing it right. Y'all should stop hating and pay me for consultation. I could probably change your life with a minute of observation. If you can't find your girl, just bet my pocket Jason. You a cock, you can watch her, she swallow my dog like Nathan's. I'm a boss, I'm a real man. What the fuck did you think this was? People talk online, but they be softer than the Jigglypuff. Sipping on my tea and I don't even keep my pinky up. She said save it for me when we go and do that kinky stuff. Hold up, I'm making a song right now. I'm trying to be the best rapper in the world right now. That ain't really hard to do, cause the culture's so enslaved that we just 2 steps away from being sold right now. I said I'm sick of the rap, living the track, you don't know that I be ridiculous at everything I do. I'm big on the map. Never gonna stop like a second attack. So get in it back. Shut your mouth, don't get offended or down. We gonna buzz on the enemy path. Red look my together energy pack with the melodies. Yeah, I switch it up. Now it sounded like it's slow mo. My rap reaches the youth. My news connects with old folk. U.S. symbol flow. Welcome to the snow globe. Is he joking or not? Don't worry, just know, bro. Y'all are bigger than a moon rock from NASA. I ditch the pens and pencils to write my lyrics in plasma. To try to catch the breath, keeping up with me, then get asthma. It's a battle when they trying to hurt the children like cattle. I'm just asking for some critical thought, for some real discussion, not a digital war. I'm a physical force, I'm a spiritual horse. Triple crown, I don't hit the ground. In sync with the Lord, you couldn't flow like me. If a sync was your face, put more than 5 on it. Just give me Cinco and change. Justice League, hit me up, this instrumental deranged. And I'm the best fucking rapper, they won't let in the game. I've been nice since 19, but they wouldn't listen. They told me drugs and women, well I had to be spitting. But I just thought, fuck you, they did my thing. Got 250 million views without a dealer, label, or manager. I'm the truth, you a fool, a goof, misleading the fucking youth. You a tool for elites to kill all the kids in school. I make music for Einsteins and high vibes. You make music for Weinsteins and wise guys. Firework flow, this side will leave your eyes wide. Treat my ex like insane, can't wait, but bye-bye. Got stupid flow, she called me beautiful. Then show me nipples like Maroon 5 at the Super Bowl. I'm so done with this shit. The real ones gon' have to plug the kid in. If not, I got my own outlet. Yeah, my vote got wet. Got more reach than your whole fucking label. You fucking fable. All I do is electrify with fluent eclectic lines. Y'all knew that respect was fine. The dude who is next to shine. That's me, and yeah, I'm bright with the mic, and I'm breaking the matrix tonight. You're welcome.
Yes, sir. The people who are just joining, that's my new song. It's called Matrix Breakers, produced by the Grammy award-winning production team Justice League. They reached out to me because they like my politics. Well, I don't know if both of them do, but Rook Ortiz does. Shout out Rook. He's a real one. He's a conservative, aka he's not a moron. Not that if you're not conservative, you're a moron, but I'm just saying he gets it. And he won a Grammy, so that's dope. And mixed by my friend Kim Folk John, double platinum mixing guy, good friend. But yeah, that's my new song, Matrix Breaker. It goes right in along with what we're talking today. It's actually pretty funny because I said I make it drizzle like Mayweather and Mayweather. You may weather the storm, but the kid better. Y'all transparent. Get it? Like a transparent, like your kids switch genders. Anyway, first story we're talking about today is Floyd Mayweather. This guy really gets it, and he's getting a lot of heat in the media. So the reason we're talking about Floyd is he responded to a lot of rappers. To be honest, I haven't fully looked into the story of all the rappers who are talking about Floyd. I think T.I. was one of them, but don't quote me on it. So the thing was, Gucci put out this weird sweater of some sorts that looked like a black person face, or I don't know. It's like a black sweater. To be honest, a lot of their clothes, some of them are cool, but some of them are really goofy. Like they have a lot of goofy clothes. It's like it's like a kid with like a drawing board. It's like, let's see what crazy kooky thing we can come up. They're like, look, I'm a draft model. Like in that she's dressed as like a draft. And you're like, dude, they've been doing weird stuff for like a decade now. People pay like $2,000 to get a sweater they can get at Kohl's for like $10. I never understood it, but you can clearly see I'm not a fashion icon. So if you want fashion, don't listen to me. Anyway, Floyd got stopped by, I believe, TMZ or something, walking into a Gucci store, and they're like, Floyd, aren't you gonna boycott Gucci? Because all the woke black activists and rappers and entertainers are that was their whole pitch. And he was like, I'm blessed, I'm good, I spend money where I want, nobody control Floyd. Like he was on his like, I'm gonna buy stuff at Gucci. So they tried to say he was like not, like, oh, he's a fake activist, but he said what I said. I'm about to read his Instagram. He did a 4-post takedown of all these fake activists. And the reason I get so upset at these fake activists is because they're actually hurting the black community. They're hurting the white community. They're hurting women. They're hurting a lot of our people, Hispanics, you name it, Asians. We're all kind of blending together in American culture now. We feed off each other. And these rappers are total hypocrite liars, and they don't really understand what, like, boycotting Gucci, you think that's going to change the community? Like, why are you even buying $2,000 sweatshirts or advocating? There's a lot of people with, and this goes in every community, with no money, no savings, no job, and they're spending their paycheck on a pair of Yeezys or a Gucci sweater. It's like priorities, people. I've never understood the whole culture anyway of like, yo, spend all the money on these clothes. It's like, let's not say we did. But here's Floyd Mayweather's response to all the outrage against him. Really genius response. Ready? In light of the most current boycott and digital outrage, I wanted to take the time to address a couple issues that I myself have trouble wrapping my mind around. For instance, why would we as a people agree to a temporary boycott of Gucci for merely 3 months if what was done caused so much strife? Why wouldn't we agree to a permanent boycott of Gucci as well as all other merchandise that falls under the carrying ownership, such as YSL, Balenciaga, Alexander McQueen, and more? I'll tell you why. It's because in this day, celebrities and failing artists pick and choose the hottest trending topic as a means of seeking attention and using fake advocacy as a platform when their talent no longer benefit them. It's common knowledge that these luxury brands aren't being purchased on a large scale by the Black communities that you portray you're advocating for, yet you use the emotions of our people that are already suffering with countless issues within their own home front that you conveniently pay no regard or respect to. The same celebrities stirring the pot over brands that they, without a doubt, will continually buy are the same artists that inject rap lyrics fueled with drugs, murder, and sexual promiscuity into the very Black communities that you're pretending to care so much about. Bam! These same celebrities are proud deadbeat fathers and unfaithful husbands using their platforms to rally the troops against luxury brands, yet have been the prime contributors of influencing the destruction of our people by way of their musical content and imagery. Should we boycott their music and record labels as well? Or do we learn to communicate and bring solutions to the problems we're facing as a whole? As a retired, wealthy, and successful man that has promoted drug and alcohol-free lifestyle, yes, I am a connoisseur of fine quality in the top line brands. However, unlike many of these new money celebs, I never forgot where I came from. Decades before Dapper Dan became a designer for Gucci, I supported his work and creativity constantly and never stopped. Not many of you can say that. Most of you took your money into the same high-end boutiques and didn't think twice about leaving our brother and legendary designer behind until Gucci put their stamp back on him, and that's where your hypocritical outrage should be. Bottom line, if you know better, do better. Start with your own homes and the content that you mass produce and sell to your very own. Take a look at how you're representing your people first before asking someone else to do so. And then he has a picture of him and I guess it's the dude from Gucci. Wow. Is that not incredible, guys? We gotta rally behind Floyd Mayweather. He's literally dropping red pill on red pill on black pill on red pill on red pill on black pill on red pill on whatever you want to call it onto the Black community. He's like, your message of drugs, sex, we have to take care of our own family. We have to take care of our own community. We have to take care of our own people. And the fact that you guys act like you're so woke and all of your lyrics are literally murdering people. And I take high offense to this because when I go, when I'd go to Bed-Stuy, there's a kid named Ronald, and he stopped reaching out to me. He could hit me up whenever, but he changed his name on Facebook to Coke Boy Ronald. Gucci didn't tell him to change his name to that. That was a French Montana group that he was like, oh, I'm a part of, but it's Coke Boy. He's 11 years old. So it's so true. And it's really, really great that Floyd Mayweather is saying this stuff. He's way woker and smarter than I thought he was, because everyone says Floyd Mayweather's dumb. He gets it. He's all about self-accountability and self-responsibility. So in wake of that, we're going to play this clip of Floyd Mayweather from a couple years ago where he basically, says that he likes Trump. He's in a room with like 10 people who probably are Black activists who are so woke and boycotting Gucci now. He shuts them down on like every single Trump topic. Listen to this. We're going to listen to the whole thing because it's straight legendary. And Floyd Mayweather gets it, man. I was never a fan, but I'm starting to be a huge fan. And he's undefeated. Wow. That was such a good Instagram post. I hope it wakes up a lot of people.
Pageants and all that kind of stuff. And we haven't spoken in a while, but
I mean,
I'm not here to tell nobody who they can and they can't be friends with.
Right.
And I think a lot of, within this world, like I said, racism still exists. You never heard anything about Donald Trump being racist until he ran for president and won. Before that, everybody was like, oh, he's on WWE, on different shows. Everybody, they like Donald Trump. As soon as he ran for president, because people don't like the truth. Because he come out and be like, somebody on the rap music, they make billions and billions of dollars from rap music, right? He speak like a real man spoke. Real man speak. Like, man, she had a fat ass. You see her ass? I had to squeeze her ass. I had to grab that fat ass, right? This girl I was talking to,
when he was talking privately about grabbing the girl in the vagina.
So he talking locker room talk. How man locker room talk? You know what I'm saying? I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? You know who I am. Yeah, I grabbed her by the pussy. And
do you think he should have been held to a different standard because he was running for the presidency?
I feel people shy away from realness. This man didn't do nothing. Hey, listen, if y'all didn't want the man in the White House, y'all should have voted the other way. He ain't like he went and robbed. He done his homework. He done what he had to do, and he got there. I'm not here to knock nobody. See, my thing is this: it don't matter who's in there. If Trump is in there, Clinton, Barack Obama, it doesn't matter. That's not going to stop my drive. See, the thing is this: too many people are worried about what Trump is doing and what other presidents are doing instead of worry about what you're trying to do and what level you're trying to get to.
Facts.
See, my thing, I don't give a fuck what nobody else doing.
Yes.
I got to worry about what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to get to. I'm not, a lot of times, oh man, it's going to affect us. Oh man, if you ain't making $400 or $500-600 million, man, it's not going to affect you no fucking way. So it's only going to affect somebody like me. I'm the motherfucker that should be tripping.
On the tax end.
I'm just saying, period. I'm the motherfucker that should be tripping, paying $34, $25, $26 million.
I love that.
I should be tripping. But guess what I'm saying? It's all right. It is what it is. One thing that we all know we got to do. One thing we know that's going to happen for sure. We're going to pay taxes. We're going to die. But while we here, live life to the fullest. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. How I became successful and how I got to where I got to, I don't worry about what nobody else say. When a guy or a girl come into my life, all they do is make me work that much harder. So no matter what male or what female was in my life before.
Not a victim.
When they got out of my life, all I did was save me some money and made me work harder. So at the end of the day, I don't know why everybody keep bitching about and keep picking it and holding, you know what I'm saying? They walking and walking on. Protesting. We don't want this happening. My man, all that time you spend it protesting, you could be at home writing down ideas, coming up with a business.
Woo!
So do you think with the policies that is happening in the country now that, with the new legislation that they're putting forward to get rid of the dreamers, the people that have come to this country before they were they didn't even know any other country. They just came here with their parents. Now he wants to send them all away. Woo. There are a lot of people that are really not happy with his policies. Are you saying that they should just forget about him or not?
What I'm saying is this.
Ready?
What I'm saying is this.
Listen.
A lot of times you meet people from other countries, meaning this. You meet people that comes from other countries and be like, oh, I love my country. I love this. I said, if you love your country so much, why are you here? You taking up space for other people. We got some other Americans that love your job. But remember, this country will give somebody else from a whole nother country that they don't know shit about a loan before they even give the American citizens a loan.
Woo! Let's go, Floyd.
So
tell them.
I don't know how many illegal people that we have in this country. Meaning, my thing is this: I'm not saying I'm with it. I'm not saying I'm against it. I love everybody. I love.
Tell them.
I love people from all around the world.
Facts.
My thing is this: Floyd Mayweather is not worried about nobody else's business. I don't worry about nobody else's business. A lot of time we spend too much time worrying and talking about everybody's business instead of worrying about our own. I got to where I got to. That's the reason why it's easy. I make millions and millions of dollars on a daily basis because I focus on Floyd.
So are you saying that things that don't affect you personally, you shouldn't be worried about?
That's how I feel.
Okay.
Well, you have a blessed life that's not common. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I work to get to where I got.
No, I know. I'm not taking that away from you. You are.
You talking about everybody in this room. See the size of this room. I come from a 7 deep in a 1 bedroom, the same size as this, right here. So I'm what you call an American dream.
I'm a whole world
dream.
A whole
fucking world dream.
Woo!
I work my way from the bottom to the top. And that's nobody gave me shit.
And that.
Yes, sir. Dude, Floyd is killing it. It's so fire. He gets it, man. They try to get him at every corner, and he's like, you could get a loan quicker than a citizen. I mean, his literally his quote. He's like, I'm pushing a drug-free lifestyle. You're pushing a culture onto our people. This is not really black culture. Black culture is not what rap culture is now. Why do you think there's a suicide rise? Why do you think there's an opioid rise? You know, I'm watching NBC. Just to give you an example of the liberal, just like Malcolm X said, he said, you know, the liberals are the wolf or the fox or whatever. As far as the wolf in sheep's clothing, basically, they pretend to be nice, but they really just take control of everything and bury your own people. I'm going to watch an NBC clip on Beto, and there's a pharmacy commercial. That's a perfect metaphor and example of who they really are. We're so nice. We love women and children. We love the blacks. We love the Hispanics. We love the women. Pills, 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 pharmacy pills, pharmacy pills. You're sold out to foreign corporations. We're sold out to. All they do is lie and pump. And then there's an opioid crisis. Yeah, you know where most of the heroin and fentanyl is coming from? The border. But they don't want to secure them. It's not because they care about Hispanics. They don't care about anyone. The black community, the Hispanic community, women, white Americans, whoever, they just pretend like they care. And Floyd Mayweather is somebody who's breaking the matrix. It's weird because everybody says Floyd doesn't care. He's always putting his money up and he's always showing how rich he is. And I've always thought that too. I'm like, yeah, I get it. He brags a lot and stuff. But the weird part is Floyd is the only one speaking truth to black activists and saying, you're crushing our culture. You're crushing our own people. You're blaming everyone else. Meanwhile, you're the biggest propagators of poisonous ideologies into our own communities. And it's true. That's why I say self-awareness and self-responsibility is the most important things. If you don't have self-accountability, self-awareness, and self-responsibility, they can take control of you. And if you don't stay together in your families, if you don't stay together in your own communities, you become the victim that you've self-manifested. So Floyd gets it. He's not a victim. He's not weak. He's not buying into this, oh, we're going to boycott Gucci for a couple months and that's somehow going to help the black community. How foolish and fake do you have to be? Meanwhile, your own lyrics are leading millions of kids into a lifestyle that will end them up in an overdose, addicted to drugs, at a dead-end job that they don't like, in jail, dead. And it's happening at record rates in this country. Oh, it's not just rap culture. Liberal culture is a culture of weakness and lies and failures. And when they get you weak, and when they get you hateful, and when they get you thinking that you can't do anything, and because of your skin color, your gender, that you're at such a disadvantage, they pump you with pills. They take control of your community. They own your organizations. Your activist organizations now turn into political organizations for them. And their agenda is big government, higher taxes, which in California at least leads to poverty. Highest taxes, most poverty, homelessness spiraling out of control. It's part of the formula. It's not a coincidence that the more tax money they take from you, that the more poverty goes up. It's called poverty pimping. It's called using social justice to convince you that you're weak and you need all this help. And then they reach out to you and they pull you and take control of everything. Malcolm X said it too. He said, it's the white liberal who owns the entire organization. And what I'm finding out is the white liberal are pretty much just, poverty pimp mules. They're not, the white liberals aren't even in control. They're like 2 steps down on the pyramid. They're just running in circles for other people. They're not even the real deal either. But that's the story there about Floyd. Let me know what you guys think. I'll read the super chat and then I'll move on. Sorry, let me just clear my throat away from the mic so it's not gross. I read your comment. You said someone super chatted and said, what do you think about Justin Trudeau? I think he's a liberal liar. I think he's totally weak. I think he sold his own people out. I think he and other, globalist leaders on the left and the right contributed to the fall of certain places like Libya and Syria, which led to the refugee crisis. And now he's acting like a hero, taking a bunch of people who are trying to take advantage of Canada into Canada. So I think he's a total awful leader. And the right wing seems to be on the rise in Canada. And that's the thing. It's like, if you don't like the right, then stop messing up, because you're empowering the right wing. You're growing it and you're making fringe groups more powerful, because the modern day liberalism is awful. Awful. The narrative matrix has them. Sheep will wake up. Thank you, Control. I'll delete it. And I've been a little, we're going to move on, because I've been a little salty at conservatives, because I realize that conservatives are just kind of like useful idiots for, some other entities. I've just found that out this week. And it's like, the left is wrong about almost everything. It's just getting terrible. And I'm going to get into more of what they're doing now. But the right wing, it's like, man, I had no idea so many people on the right were just useful idiots too. It's like a circus, and you got to figure out what our role is. So I've been at people like Anomaly. Who just gave $49? Thank you. Thank you, Alyssa. Says, starting a fund to record an edited version of Matrix Breaker. My son loves your music, but I'm starting to feel like a bad mom. All right, I'll do that. I'll get a version of Matrix Breaker and I Love Trump. I'll do an edited version. Now you made me feel bad, but yeah, certain songs are for the streets, but if you're playing them for the kids, I'll try to get an edited version. And I'm not, I do things for fun too, and certain things are for different communities, but I try to be a net good, so I'll get that done. Thank you, Alyssa. I'll do that. Second story of the day. Hold on, let me just. Whew. Second story of the day is about Beto O'Rourke and liberal Twitter media. They're acting like I don't know how far they're going to fall before people realize it's becoming a problem. First, they said, and I'm not talking about Beto specifically, but liberals said, no, we want border security. We just don't want a wall. Like, the fence is fine. We don't need that. And then sometimes they say, well, we want to abolish ICE and we don't want any borders. And then sometimes they say, no. We want border security. It's just like, we want to do it differently. So that's what I don't like about liberals. I prefer I don't want to say extremists, but I don't like liars. If you feel a certain way, whether it's open borders, closed borders, just say it. Stop being a cowardly two-faced liar. And they're starting to admit the truth after being like, no, we want the security. Beto O'Rourke is admitting he would tear down the wall. I mean, let's listen to this clip and go on. I'm getting tired of these people. And it's like, I'm nice, I'm kind, I'm compassionate, I'm cool. But like, you're going to tear the wall down? You're going to come to someone's apartment complex, rip over the fence and rip down the security and be like, no. At what point does this become illegal? Like, I mean, we got to get ICE on Beto. First of all, he pretends to be Mexican and he's not. Everybody's like, dude, it's a Spanish nickname. He's 100% white, which is fine. People just need to know that. I know he's never specifically said it, but everyone's like, oh, Beto, he's just like me. No, dude, he took a Spanish name. He's not even Spanish.
A question from a congressman is not representative.
Oops. Sorry, guys.
Not represent the border, but he is in Texas. Dan Crenshaw, who's a new member of Congress, he's been very outspoken in favor of the president's agenda on the border, particularly. Right. And he wanted to ask you. He tweeted this. I'm just passing it along. It's not something he didn't text me. Would you, if you could, would you take the wall down now? Here. Yes. Like you have a wall. Absolutely. Knock it down. I'll take the wall down.
Okay. So here's Beto admitting he wants to take the wall down. In life, no one's perfect. We got bad people on both sides. Either you build or you destroy. And I'm always trying to help people build. That's why even on Twitter, people are like, Anomaly, you seem mad. I'm not mad. It's just people are like passive aggressively, I'm concerned about you. Go start a small business. If you want to help me, there's one of 50 ways you can do so. You can disagree with me. You can debate me, but just don't leech onto me and be like, la, la, la. You either build or you destroy. And I'm building. And I'm building other people up as well. I'm trying to inspire people, but this dude wants to destroy. And that's what the left has become now. And like I said, the right is filled with people who really don't get it either. I've realized that. But you want to tear the wall down? At what point do you get labeled a terrorist? And I don't like to exaggerate, but this is coming from the most hypocritical side that says, "Oh my God, Trump's working with Russia." How is Trump working with Russia? By making our military stronger? By, defying Russia more than any other president? Listen to Yuri Bezmenov. He explains exactly how Russia psychologically subverted the United States to turn people into raving lunatic leftists like Beto, Robert, Irishman O'Rourke, who pretends to be Mexican. Do you think Russia wants us to have a stronger military? No, he wants cucks like Beto O'Rourke running around tearing down their own national defense. Cuck. He's a cuck. And I don't mean to be mean. This is what foreign nations want. You think they want strong men with guns and families who teach their kids self-accountability? No, they want cucks like Beto who tear down their own walls. That's what Russia wants. That's what China wants. That's what ISIS wants. That's what bad people from below us want. They don't want strong people like Trump or Southerners that actually support the Second Amendment. You think that, Russia wants everyone in the United States to have guns. How foolish and fake could you be? No, they want leftists like Beto O'Rourke who run around tearing their own communities down, tearing the Black community down, tearing the Hispanic community down, tearing their own walls down. I'm such a white liberal. Look how good I am. I'm going to tear down my own walls. Beto, if you come on my property and you touch my walls and you touch my security, I'm calling ICE on you, Beto. I'm calling the police on you. I'm calling Trump. I might even call Trump. I don't have Trump's number, but I'm one connection away. Why would you tear down your own walls and fences? Like, at what point do you just admit you're a liar? You're a snake. You're a fake. You're not Mexican. You're not even really American. Trump wants to build a wall for security. We have a record number of people committing suicide. We have a record number of people dying of opioids and fentanyl. We have a drug crisis in this country, and we know statistically where a majority of them come from. We have a human trafficking problem. We have an illegal immigration problem. And Beto O'Cuck wants to tear down the wall, not build it, not put drones, not make it more effective. He wants to tear it down. What a two-faced cuck. Tearing our wall, dude, does anyone really believe themselves? That's what I'm struggling with. I don't care if you don't like Trump. I don't care if the wall's not your number one policy. I don't care if you're making a valid argument for illegal immigrants who live here, who want to work and pay for their families back home. I'm fine with all of that. But at what point do you just stop lying? Oh no, walls don't work. Any walls end lives. No, they don't, cuck. Walls save lives. Walls establish buildings. Walls create space. Walls work everywhere. I'm going to tear down the wall and it's going to get safer. No, it's not, you two-faced Irish cuck who isn't Mexican but pretends to be. You're a cuck, bro. And that's fine. I don't care, sexual cucks. If you want to be promiscuous sexually and, be a freak, that's fine with me. I don't care about your sex life. I'm pro whatever you want to do. I'm just saying you're metaphorically and politically and probably literally a cuck. You want to tear down a wall and a bill and, it doesn't work and that it's going to make it safer if I tear it. No, you're a two-faced, spineless cuck, Irish cuck who's tanking the white community, who's destroying the minds of white women, who's crushing Hispanics and no one likes you, who's crushing American citizens, who's crushing Texans and wants to be such a two-faced cuck that you're not only lying about everything, but you want to go destroy something we have. Either you build or you destroy. First, their argument is, no, we don't need a wall. We already have a fence. And now it's like, oh, I would tear the fence down. I would tear the fence down because I'm a cuck. That's what they do. And trust me, the right has been annoying me this week, and people have been bothering me. And everyone's like, Anomaly, I'm having fun. I'm not saying the right's perfect, but the left sucks. They're literally self-hating, self-destructive, anti-American cucks who are like, not only do I not want to make our country more secure, but I hate Trump so much, and I hate people who protect their families and love themselves so much that I'm going to start tearing everything down. This is what Russia wanted. They don't want a strong president who loves his own people. They want two-faced, spineless cucks, psychopathic women with 59 cats who write for Huffington Post and hate themselves and hate the opposite gender and are racist and sexist but pretend not to be. They want self-destruction, and that's what you're getting from the left. Tear down your own walls, tear down your own fences, deplete every aspect of American society that makes it sane and stable and successful. Holy sharks, guys. These people suck. And if you think I'm exaggerating that they're pro-terroristic, because I don't like to just put headlines that make people like, ooh, Anomaly, you're exaggerating. This is a Twitter featured headline. Ready? I'm not exaggerating. This is who they are, guys. This is why I get it. I've been calling conservatives cuck-servatives because I think it's hilarious. And now that people are cracking down on free speech, I'm getting wilder. People are like, Anomaly, you're dark. No, I'm having a time. I think it's hilarious, and so do other people. But also, when free speech starts closing in, that's when I get a little wilder. You got to bounce around the edges sometimes, where it's like, you guys I can't even breathe, and you say it's racist. Now I'm going to start calling everybody cucks because I think it's funny. And it's also halfway true. This is a Twitter feature headline. Teenager who joined IS, which is ISIS basically rebranded to make it less scary. Teenager who joined IS says she wants to come home to the UK. Shamima Begum fled to join the Islamic State group in Syria at the age of 15 4 years ago. According to a report in the Times, she now wants to come back to the UK and give birth. So this is an ISIS puff piece. If you're a conservative, a black conservative, a Hispanic conservative, surely a white conservative Catholic kid, if you're in your teenagers, they'll try to kill you. But if you like low taxes and personal liberty and the president of the United States and basic common sense, you can't get good press from Twitter. But if you went to Syria to destabilize Syria and work with ISIS, they're giving ISIS puff pieces, guys. They gave bin Laden's mother a puff piece. It's like, if you're an American citizen who loves this country and loves your family and literally is like a great person who doesn't have an ounce of racism, you can't get good press from liberal psychos. But if you went to Syria to do one of the craziest things that's been done in the last decade, to fight with ISIS, they'll give you a puff piece, and you scroll all this stuff. It's all puff, 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 puff. They're giving better press to ISIS, and they always have. I've known this since 2009. They're letting ISIS members come back to Britain and Canada and parts of the US. First of all, because when it's all said and done, you're going to find out that ISIS and Al-Qaeda and Al-Nusra and all of these terrorist organizations that they claim to be fighting, they weren't really fighting ever. They were funding and allowing funds to get to one way or another, whether it was directly or indirectly. Because you had the rebels claiming to fight ISIS. You had ISIS fighting the Syrian government, and you had the rebels fighting the Syrian government. We were funding two sides of wars, and this is not a conspiracy theory. This is mainstream news. I can find the article for you. The Pentagon and the CIA were funding two different sides of the war. This is not my theory. This is mainstream news organizations, literally. So Trump gets into office and actually says, hey, let's destroy ISIS. And he pretty much did in Syria. They got rid of almost all of their property that they owned. Now, all of a sudden, the liberal media's pro-ISIS. They're tearing down walls. Explain to me. And they're the ones always projectile tacticking, saying, conservatives are ISIS. Conservatives are terrorists because they want guns and they're working with Russia. It's all projection tactics. How are they not terrorists? And I'm not one to exaggerate. They're tearing down our national defense and giving puff pieces to terrorist organizations. Literally. You can get better press in this country and on social media as an ISIS member. Oh no, she just wants to come to UK and have 10 babies. But you can't have a baby. We're going to kill your babies. We're going to abort your babies when they're 9 months pregnant. We're going to abort your babies, and we're going to lobby for ISIS members to come to the UK and have babies. But you can't have babies. These people are racist. They're sexist. They're terrorists. They're psychopaths. They're absolutely self-destructive lunatics who are tearing down our national defense. I'm just going to keep saying it over and over because it's not going to get less ridiculous. And I try to not get upset. I believe the Buddha. That's why I got my little homie right there, Luis Raranino, aka Buddha. You know, being angry at someone else is like drinking poison and expecting them to die. That's why I don't get angry too often. I have my little spurts of like, intensity, but then I cool off. I'm not trying to be angry. I'm not trying to be upset. But Twitter is giving puff pieces to ISIS while they're literally allowing psychopathic, like feminist lunatic celebrities who are mentally ill. They're threatening teenagers who are conservative, and that's okay with Twitter. And they're giving ISIS positive press while Beto, cuck. He's a cuck, ladies and gentlemen. He's admitting he would want to tear down national defense. Like, you don't know. Meanwhile, in Mexico, you know that there's been more murders in the last year than ever in recorded history. They're having a murder problem. Politicians are dying left and right. Journalists are getting getting their brains blown out in the middle of broad daylight. There's issues in Mexico. That's why people want to come here. There's issues in South America. That's why people want to come here. There's nothing wrong with Mexico. There's nothing wrong with South America, but they're having problems. And Beto, cuck boy, little beta boy, little cuck, gulp, 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 wants to tear down our national defense. This is why I'm going in on him. I'm not a bully. He's a little cuck bully. Oh, I love Mexicans. Dude, you're Irish, you loser. Oh, I love the Mexicans so much more, so I'm going to put all our kids at risk. I'm going to put Hispanic kids at risk. I'm going to lie to black kids so they can't be successful in life. I'm going to lie to women. You're a little bitch, Beto. Beto's a little bitch cuck, and I'm tired of these piece of shit people. Not trying to get angry, but think about how many tens of thousands of kids are going to lose their lives, literally, metaphorically, financially, psychologically, because of Beto, cuck. We have a heroin crisis, cuck. We have a fentanyl crisis, cuck. We have a human trafficking crisis, Beto, cuck. We have an illegal immigration crisis, Beto, cuck. Tens of thousands of people are dying from the drugs coming in from Mexico, cuck. Thousands of people are losing their kids because of illegal immigration, cuck. And you want to tear down a wall? You little cuck terrorist, Beto, terrorist cuck. I'm tired of these people. And the reason I'm extra saucy today is because while Beto, cuck, you're a little fuck boy, cuck, Beto, cuck. You're a little piece of cuck, okay? Your little cuck mentalities will crush the black community, you little fuck boy cuck. They're going to crush women. They're going to crush the black community, Hispanic community, the Texas community with your little cuck ways. You're affecting millions of kids in a negative manner, you two-faced little fuck boy cuck. Beto, talking to you. And meanwhile, while he wants to tear down the wall and tear down the border, they're giving puff pieces on Twitter to ISIS. Liberals are psychos. They're losing their minds, guys. They're literally in front of your mind. They're telling you, they're screaming for help. They're saying, I'm mentally ill. I hate myself. I hate this country. I hate a stable family. I hate people like Anomaly who don't take pharmacy pills. Like, I'm not, people are like, are you high? No, I'm alive. I'm drinking coffee and water. I don't take pharmacy pills. I don't watch television. I'm not a brainwashed, complete psychopath like them. They're popping pills, doing cocaine and fentanyl, probably overdosing kids. And then they're like, you're crazy. Why? Because I drink water? I mean, you're allowed to be wrong about things. You're allowed to have different politics, but you're giving puff pieces to terrorist organizations. Literally. You're tearing down national security. We have a heroin crisis, you cuck. I'm tired of this cuck, man. And the fact that they rig all mass media to be like, no one disagrees. Everyone disagrees with you. That's why Trump won. It's not working anywhere. This dude is such a coward. I'm going to have to go to a Beto rally and tell him to his face he's a two-faced cuck. Tell him about the heroin crisis. Tell him about, oh no, walls and fences don't work. It's not, there's nothing where I would tear it down if I could. If he touches the wall, I should arrest him. He's a traitor. And I don't like to use that word. I'm not someone who will call somebody, he's become a terrorist and a traitor. What do you call somebody that literally, like, if I'm in the military and there's some sort of gate to protect my people, and you have a little, probably I don't know how tall he is, but a little cuck, he looks like a little ant. He's like, dude's a little cuck. Says he's going to tear down our security. How is that not an act of terrorism? How is that not illegal? I know he didn't do it. He's just saying it, but this dude is such a fucking cuck, man. I'm tired of these people. And it's really making me mad because I'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? I'll be fine. I'll be successful. I'll be strong. But my whole life, I've always stood up against bullies. That's why I wrote pieces on, the justice system and the jail system. I'm concerned about Blacks and Hispanics too being disproportionately jailed, but I don't like bullies and I don't like cowards. And liberals have become wolves in sheep's clothing. They're crushing the Black community. They're crushing our women. They're crushing Hispanics, although most Hispanics aren't buying it anymore. They're screwing everything up. And in the process of screwing everything up and lying to everybody constantly and taking control of all mass media and just literally pushing the most unhealthy messages, and people are committing suicides at rapid rates and people are overdosing on pills at rapid rates, they just won't stop. They're giving puff pieces to ISIS. You can get better press if you're ISIS than you can if you're a conservative. That's literal insanity. And meanwhile, they're tearing down walls. They're siding with terrorists. They're siding with every bad entity. They're literally evil. And I'm not one of these like psycho-religious people that just throws that around and calls everybody a demon I don't like. But they're literally like evil. They're doing everything wrong. Everything. Economically, politically, spiritually, psychologically, domestically, every mistake you could possibly make. And they're not just doing it, they're forcefully doing it. Win an election, Beto. Who cares what you say? You lost to Ted Cruz, the Zodiac killer. These people are evil. How many kids have died from fentanyl? Literally, left and right, people are dropping like flies. Friends of friends, dude, she died. Friends of my friends are dropping like flies. Some of my actual friends have died from these problems. We have a drug problem, a massive pharmacy drug problem, and now they're mixing in fentanyl. Enough fentanyl came across the border of Mexico to kill like our whole nation. It's literal warfare. And this dude's like, oh, I'm going to tear down our own defenses. Dude, fuck this guy, man. And then Twitter is giving puff pieces to ISIS. This is just nutty. I mean, it's crazy. Thunderdome Boxing Talk said, Anomaly, how did you ever support these people? Like, why? I never supported these people. Let me get straight of where I came from and where I felt. I've known for a decade that the two-party system was corrupt. I've known for a decade that the media was lying. I've known for a decade that the wars were a lie and that they were funding both sides and they weren't really trying to solve the crisis. They had an ulterior motive. I was deeper down the rabbit hole than people give me credit for. I knew the whole thing was a setup. And if you look, George Bush was not really, he's not pro-Trump now, if you notice why. Obama was part of the same mold. So I never supported them, but I never understood economics. So I just assumed that the Republicans were slightly worse. The Bush family was bad. And Obama, I just was like, you know what? He's a puppet, but maybe he's a little bit better of a puppet. I never supported this. And if you want to be honest, if I would have understood economics, I probably would have been more conservative, but I didn't. I never supported this. But also, you have to understand, as bad as people want to say Obama was, which you could say, I'm not disagreeing, he didn't act like this. This is new stuff. Obama didn't say tear down the wall. Obama was deporting illegals. Obama was calling for more security, although he never did it. This was never the left. Like, they're going full psycho. They were always a little bit probably off. They've never been this crazy. Have you ever heard of, like, Chuck Schumer 8 years ago is talking about all the same things that Trump's doing. So this is not something this is like full derangement. And I hate to be nasty and negative, but it's like, I don't like bullies. I stand against bullies. And when you're giving puff pieces to terrorist organizations, like, if you think America is bad, dude, talk to some people in Syria. I'm disgusted because ISIS has done some real fucked up stuff, guys. Sorry to curse, but I already cursed once. I might as well go now. This type of fucked up stuff that they've done in Syria, it's unthinkable fuckery. Like, what they've done in Syria is true evil. The stuff that ISIS has done is full psycho. And to think that these cucky white conservatives, these cucky white liberals, like Jack and fucking Beto, sit here and act like they're some sort of virtuous activist, and they're giving puff pieces to one of the most evil organizations on the planet that has literally decapitated people, done unthinkable things, like literally the most savage stuff that you could think of in Syria. It's very real. And they're giving them just let her come to UK and have a few babies while we abort your babies. These people are fucking evil psychopaths, and it's about time people start calling them out. And then in the same breath, they're talking about tearing down not building a wall, not getting drones, not getting more security, not just ignoring it and not wanting to build a new wall with the money, tearing down existing things. These people need to be called out. These people need to be resisted, if that's a thing. Like, this is insane stuff. And we're such a pussy society now where it's like, that's why I'm getting a little bit wilder. It's not 'cause I'm not getting meaner or darker. People are like, you're dark. I'm sensing darkness. I'm blessed. I'm happy. At certain times I get a little stressed out for sure. And I overwork myself sometimes, absolutely. But at a certain point, the left goes further, and the right just keeps giving up space and giving up space and giving up space and giving up space and giving up space. It's because the party's run by a bunch of cucks. Donald Trump's the only real man over there, really. Rand Paul's pretty cool. I like Dan Crenshaw sometimes, but it's like, dude, they're total pushovers. And they're also totally owned and bought out. Like, you can't even talk about certain countries and lobbying organizations. They're like, oh, don't talk about that. Okay. But at a certain point, like, how far are they going to go? Everything I preach is nonviolent. It is rooted out of true love and compassion, but there's a difference. Like, you don't let your baby get murdered, and you don't let your country get infiltrated, and you don't let hundreds of thousands of people die from opioids and drug overdoses and let people start tearing down your stuff. Like, at a certain point, that's not kindness and compassion. Everything I do is obviously nonviolent, and anybody who watches me, it's like, I want you to win by winning in your own life. Start a small business. You know what I'm saying? Be the change you want to see in the world. It's all love, but at a certain point, no is no. Like, people, I like this side of me. Some people don't like it and they find it off-putting, but I want to let people know, like, there's a line. I have a line. I'm very nice. I'm very chill, but I'm not a total pushover. So if you cross my line, I will go savage to show you not to cross the line again. And that's kind of like the Trump ideology that I understand, where it's like he went hard with North Korea and it actually worked very well with North Korea. Because if you're too much of a pushover, it doesn't work. But if you go hard, like, I'll give you an example. And I don't like to use this as an example, but, this is a friend of mine. When I was in school, someone just donated 666. I guess thank you, but interesting. When I was in school, and people like on Twitter and stuff, they're like, "Oh, Anomaly's going crazy." No, I'm chilling. This was a friend of mine, and I still really like him to this day, but I was looking in the window at school. Like I took no shit when I was in school, and I still do. It's just I'm older now. I pick my battles. I'm not out fighting people for no reason. Someone knocked my head against like a window. I'm literally looking in, they smacked, my head hits a glass windowsill. It hurt really bad, and it was really unnecessary. So I hit someone against a wall. Like, it was messed up, but I was like, they're like, "Dude, that was harder than I did to you." And I was like, I'm not trying to equal what you did. I'm trying to go 10 times more savage. So you learn to never do that again. I would never smack your head into a glass wall. It's incredibly painful and possibly brain damaging. So if you do that, I'm going to 10 times what you like. People are like, "Dude, that's not the same as Anomaly. Why'd you have to go full savage on that girl?" I'm not mad. I'm not particularly thin skinned, although I can be sensitive sometimes. If you go past my line, I am the nicest, kindest, most compassionate, chillest person ever. But I have a certain line. And sometimes I just find it funny to like do things to people. But if you pass my line, I'm not trying to do the same thing to you. I'm going to get the point across. So you're never going to do it again. And there's lines I have. And one of those lines is ISIS puff pieces when you won't even give conservatives puff pieces. And another one of my lines is not tearing down national security. Like, at a certain point, you're just a terrorist. Hey, let me go into the military and start tearing down all their defenses. No, that's what terrorists do. That's what foreign countries at war with us do. Are you at war? Like, there's one thing to be liberal. There's one thing to oppose the wall. And there's another thing to literally just do terroristic acts. And Beto's, I mean, if he does, it's the same with like New Mexico and California. Saying that they're going to resist military, this is not their country. They're not. Are they allowed to not let military at the border? Like, if we're at war with another country and they're trying to infiltrate and Trump calls for the military and they say, no, we don't want them in our state. Are they allowed to do that? Like, at what point does this become insane? And they don't actually believe any of this stuff. That's the thing. They're doing it just because they don't like Trump. And when you talk to them enough, you get to that reality. They say they want drones. They say the wall's big enough. Now they say they want to tear it down. Now they say they want to get rid of ICE. But it's like, do you have something to subsidize? Because ICE does a lot of work. You could say that they do some unnecessary work, but they also stop hundreds of people from getting, thousands of people from getting human trafficked, like little kids that are getting raped and sexually abused. They're saving their lives. Do you have something to They don't have any of these plans in place. And it's getting past the point of being funny. Sorry, my hair's all messed up. I shouldn't have balled it up like this, but it's too late. Someone that said thoughts on Owen Benjamin, and I'll answer a few questions from earlier too. Thoughts on Owen Benjamin? I love Owen Benjamin. Me and Owen are different people, and I think there's things we obviously disagree on, but I love Owen, and I know Owen really likes me. To be honest, I was listening to Owen in the shower, and someone brought up my song Matrix Breaker, and Owen said something like, he said, Anomaly, I love Anomaly, but he needs to not hang out with Satanists. Because my one friend is like just like in a heavy metal band, but he's like, he's got to not hang out with Satanists, and Anomaly's pretty good for a Puerto Rican or something, because I'm part Puerto Rican. It's hilarious. I love Owen. I thought it was just funny. Like, we disagree on little things, and it's like minor disagreements, but like overall, I care about the overarching picture. And Owen, you could say what you want about Owen. His tactics can be a little wild for some people's standards, but overall, Owen really gets it, and I really like Owen a lot. As someone said earlier, yeah, dude, Owen's great. He's hilarious. He gets it. I mean, he'll do some shock factor, say some wild stuff sometimes that I wouldn't say, and I'll say some things that he wouldn't say. We're totally different people, but he loves and respects me, and I love and respect him. And Owen is taboo right now because he's a strong, tall, white man who doesn't give a fuck. And that's the scariest thing to the establishment. You know, he just doesn't give a fuck speech wise. He doesn't give a fuck at all. And that's scary. Somebody with no fear and no filter. And I have just to be real with you guys, we're going to get extra real now. The people who stay get real. I had a good conversation with my friend earlier today. He might be watching too. He's Jewish. He's, you know, I think 100% Jewish, but he's sending me articles from, you know, things that people would consider anti-Semitic far right, but he's Jewish. And he's like, I don't agree with everything they say, but they have a point here and here. And I told him, and it's the truth. And like, people don't get it. Like, it's not people like me and Owen and others who are adding to racism and sexism. It's actually decreasing in a weird way. Although you might be like, don't say that. Because when you have a Jew who will listen to people on the right wing and listen to people who break the narrative against Jews, it makes people less anti-Semitic. Like, if you have a Jew who can go to somebody on the far right and be like, yo, I don't agree with all your Jew hating, but I agree with you about a lot of things, that's going to make the far right less hateful. Daryl Davis did it with the KKK. He made hundreds of people in the KKK quit the KKK because he's a smart, wise, totally awesome black dude. And then they're like, you know what? I'm not racist. I like you better than white people. That's what they don't want you to know. Political correctness is a disease. So if you have a Jew who's not a psychopathic liberal Jew, it makes people less anti-Semitic. I have people in Israel follow me, and I say this stuff because you know what is anti-Semitic? It's the Hasidic Jews who primarily actually like Trump. No one talks about that. It's the Hasidic Jews getting their beaten up in New York for being Jewish. They're getting beaten up because the psycho-liberal Jews import all these crazy people who don't like them to this country. They don't like white people. They don't like Jews. They're way more hateful than anybody on the far right against Jews. They lobby for them to come into the country. Then they beat up Hasidic Jews in New York City. And then they're like, that's who's actually raising anti-Semitism. It's the liberals. Even the far right, even like the far fringe right. If you're a Jew and you talk to them, or you're white and you break the white narrative, or you're somebody like Floyd Mayweather, or, you know what I'm saying, Larry Elder and Floyd Mayweather make people less racist because conservatives and people who are, you know, potentially more critical of the black community look at that and be like, yo, respect, dog. Like, I appreciate you for saying some real shit. And same with white people. Like, white people need to take responsibility for stuff they've done. People can't be like, oh no, I don't know. We didn't do anything. No, you did do some stuff. We all did. So that's what, like, being a right-wing Jew or being a red-pilled Jew makes people less anti-Semitic. Being a psycho-liberal Jew makes people more anti-Semitic. Being a black person who realizes that they need to take self-accountability and isn't going to protest Gucci, it makes people less racist. Being a white person that isn't totally obnoxious and like a total, you know, skis-ball who's, you know, taking advantage of people and only cares about business and economics, it makes people less racist. So the narrative is, oh, it's the far fringe right who really makes people racist. They're the most, no, they're actually, in a weird way, sometimes the most authentic people who, and to be honest, even with me, I don't agree with everything that everyone says, but it's like, I appreciate someone who will be like, I don't like you, or I think your people need to do this. I respect that more than somebody who says, I love your community so much, and then they screw it all up. And that's what liberals do. So that's what's going on. And I want to say, someone said earlier, I'll tell you a story too, and I'm down. Someone said you should talk to Tim Black. I'm down. I think I blocked him on Twitter like 2 years ago. But me and Tim used to be friends. We texted. Tim's more progressive, left leaning, but I blocked him and got, you know, just distanced myself because Tim had me on his platform before, and we talked about universal health care. And I explained on his platform, it might still be up, when I explained how it was a bad idea because you're giving government the whole control of everything. And like, literally, he didn't disagree at all on his platform. He's like, oh, you're right. Like, there's nothing to really disagree with. I mean, you can, but he didn't when we did the live stream. So as things started, unfolding, and I started understanding that, a lot of right-wing ideologies, not some of them, actually make more sense, I retweeted him because he was bashing Trump and Christian evangelicals, or like he was being really nasty towards people, which is fine. So I retweeted Tim and I said, "Hey," I said, like, respectfully, I can't remember the exact words, but seriously, I was like, "Hey, Tim, bless you, brother." Something. I was like, "Hey, I'd love to come on and have a debate or a discussion about Trump, Christians, and like what's going on." Like, literally, I said that. And then he retweeted me and said, like, or said some crazy stuff. Or maybe he didn't retweet me. He texted me and was like, "Dude, F," like he was cursing at me and was like, "Dude, it's you and your evangelical Christians. Like, it's all your," like, started being really nasty to me on text and was like, "Dude, don't ever retweet at me again. Just text me." But I didn't tweet him like mean sub blows or anything. I literally was just like, "Let's debate." And he texted me all this nasty stuff. And I was like, "Dude, I just want to have a conversation." So he was like yelling at me. So I just blocked him on Twitter, and I might have blocked his phone number. I don't know. I still got love for Tim, but it's like, dude, I just wanted to debate, and all he wanted to do is hate on Trump supporters or Christians. So I'm totally down. Yeah, I'm totally down to have a discussion with Tim. And that's what I wanted in the first place, was to have a debate and a discussion. But you can look it up. It's probably still on his channel. I went on there. He asked why I like Trump, and I explained why I did, and he didn't debate it. That's the crazy thing with, like, I haven't seen him on Twitter in a while, but I really like Jared Beck. If you guys know Jared Beck, he did the DNC lawsuit, and he's in the middle. You know what I'm saying? He's not progressive because he realizes that they don't get it, but he doesn't like Trump. And that's fine. To be honest, I love Jared Beck's I love his Twitter, and I really like his family. I like I protect the Becks. I like the Becks. But, on Twitter, he's very anti-Trump, which is fine. And I actually find him hilarious. I love his Twitter. Haven't seen it in a while. I got to look if something happened. But he came on my Make America Debate Again. It's on Apple Podcasts and everything, Make America Debate Again. And I make all my points to like Tim Black or Jared Beck. And when we're together, they kind of agree with me. They're like, "You're right. You're right. You're right." And then it's like, we talk, and then they're like, "Fuck that shit." And then you're like, whoa. But it's Jared, I actually really like. He's never even remotely bothered me. I find his Twitter quite intriguing. And I like people like him and Cernovich who question me. I don't mind being disagreed with. I just don't like annoying people. And I love Jared. But it's like Tim, and it's like when I talk to them, everything's gravy. And then it's like, where it's like, all right, I'm trying to have debates and discussion. I'm not afraid of it. So that's my thing. And next week, I'm going to have Brandon Straka on the walkaway movement. I'm going to have him on here. And I'm going to have Fleckas from Fleckas Talks on my live stream. I'm going to start bringing more people on if you guys would like that. Brandon has been cool. I know I talk, and like sometimes I'll just like say stuff, and it's never like, I say certain things and people are like, "Oh, are you mad at Brandon?" No, actually, and I'm going to have Brandon on next week. I've said this a bunch of times, but sometimes people misconstrue what I said. Brandon Straka from the Walkway Movement, he's been very, very cool to me. Like he's someone who's always been very appreciative, very grateful, reached out to me, always shown love every step of the way. Like Brandon has been very good to me. And I've said that a few times, but sometimes I'll say stuff and you're like, "Are you talking about Brandon? What did he do?" And I'm like, "Dude, me and Brandon are cool." And I'm going to have him on here. He's shown nothing but love, and he's gone out of his way. He's done more than he's had to do for me. And I respect that. And Fleckas, that's actually, I joke about Fleckas all the time. I mean, yeah, it's obvious I could beat him in basketball for sure. Obviously, but I say that I'm actually friends with Fleckas in real life, and I consider him like a good guy and a good friend. So Fleckas is he gets it too. We're going to have him on here because Fleckas, people don't know a lot about Fleckas because he only does the street things, but Fleckas a real one. And I love Fleckas. His style. Someone came up to me at a party and said, "Dude, I don't like Trump, but I really like Fleckas because it's funny." And same with Owen. People like Owen can say some things certain times that turn people off, but like Owen's hilarious. So it's like I don't even like watching. Like there's certain people, being funny helps. Like you're like, "Dude, I don't know about that, but that sure is hilarious." Like that's what comedy used to be. That's why it's important to protect comedy and free speech. And you notice, I don't call myself conservative. I don't call myself Republican, but I'm like the biggest free speech advocate out, even bigger than a lot of Republicans, because comedy was the place that everybody that was scared to say the truth would go and be like, "Dude, that's true, but I wouldn't say it. Like, that's why people go to comedy shows. And that's probably why people used to love Owen. And then the PC thing happened. They're like, dude, I wouldn't say that. But it's like, that's why you went to comedy shows, to hear things that you wouldn't normally say that might be true or edgy or messed up, but it's low-key hilarious. So I stand up for free speech. And comedy is very important. And that's why I'm starting to say more and more things. And I'm standing up for, to be honest, I don't want David Duke to get deplatformed off Twitter. I don't want Louis Farrakhan to get deplatformed off Twitter. I don't want Ilhan Omar to get deplatformed off Twitter. And I don't, to be honest, I don't like how conservatives keep using them to try to get them kicked off Twitter. Either you agree with free speech or you don't. And Ilhan Omar has done a lot of questionable things. Farrakhan's done a lot of questionable things. David Duke, I'm sure in his life, has done a lot of questionable things, obviously. But I want to hear what they say, whether it's a far left, far right, or somebody like Farrakhan who's just a Nation of Islam, dude. I don't want to hear what you say about them. Do you get it? Like, I want to hear what Owen Benjamin says. I don't want to hear what some weirdo blogger journalist or some like Glenn Becky type. And I'm not knocking Glenn Beck. I don't know that much about him, but it's like, I don't want to hear what other people, that was kind of unnecessary because I don't even know if he's ever said anything to him, but I don't want to hear I don't care what you think about them unless I actually trust you and like you. I want to hear what they have to say. So I don't want to hear what conservatives have to say about Ilhan Omar. I don't want to hear what conservatives have to say about Farrakhan. I want to hear it from their source. And if you claim that you're pro First Amendment and you claim that you're so conservative, and then when it's convenient for you, you try to kick people off of Twitter, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. I don't like those tactics. I don't like lying to achieve your agenda. If you can't get to where you need to get by speaking the truth, you shouldn't get there, because the truth is powerful and evidence is powerful. And it's a really, really powerful stuff. We all make mistakes. We've all made regrets. Hopefully, unless you're a total weirdo, hopefully you've gotten better and better as your life gone on. Because it's like, when I was 19, I was an idiot. I knew some things, but overall, I've learned every year, and I've gotten wiser and wiser and wiser and wiser and wiser and better and less stupid. And that's why it's such a shame to see people trying to take others down for what they did 10, 20, 30 years ago. It's like, dude, we all have something we didn't want to do, unless it's like full blown psycho where it like really, involves like little children, and stuff like that. Like, yeah, convict that person immediately. But if it's just like an honest mistake or something that's like a Halloween costume, it's like, who really cares? And that's what true love and compassion is. I'm not making excuses for terrible people, but it's like, you should get better every single year. And overall, if somebody's come from here to here, that should be impressive, not like, let's ruin their lives immediately. And certainly, I just don't like the deplatforming. I don't care if it's Ilhan Omar or Farrakhan, like, or anyone I don't like. Don't try to take their platform away. I don't get that. See what you guys are saying, then I'm gonna roll out. I don't want to make this one too long. Someone said Hodge twins are good conservatives. They're funny and they have a good formula, good approach. Everyone plays a role. It's just like, I'm okay with someone getting deplatformed from Twitter if they physically or really if they threaten somebody. I think you should get banned off Twitter. You know what I'm saying? As a platform, but they're not doing that. So if you have to exaggerate about Ilhan Omar's tweets or Farrakhan's tweets, they didn't threaten anybody. They didn't break that rule. You just don't like what they're saying politically, and that's not okay. I don't like. It's really annoying me. Conservatives are really annoying me this week, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. A lot of people are like, anomalies, don't say that so much. It's like, no, that's when I say it a lot. When people tell me not to say it, that's when I say it more. And when people don't get it, that's when I keep repeating myself, because I'm not here to be popular. Like, it's great that things are growing and I appreciate it. And I really do, more than most people. I try to let you guys know how much I really do appreciate everyone. And I do. But if people don't get it, that makes me want to say it more so they do get it. Because I don't need to just fuel the echo chamber. Like, yeah, of course we can agree on all this stuff. And when it comes to Beto or pro ISIS, magazines, it's like, or whatever, it's like, yeah, that's obviously a big deal, but I want to get through to my people, or who claims to be my people. Everyone's my people, but if people are like, dude, anomaly, no, I just don't say that. I'm like, all right, now we got to have this on every stream for the next week until people, because I don't care. I mean, hopefully things keep growing, of course, but I don't care if I lose 1,000 or 2,000 followers. I'm not going to lie. I'm not. You can criticize Ilhan Omar. You could talk about her marrying her brother if that really happened. That's probably illegal and weird. But you could talk about all the crazy stuff she did, but don't exaggerate. Don't say that saying APAC is a problem. It's not. It's honestly what people on the right wing should do or could do. And there's anti-free speech laws now I'm finding out about that. It's like you're so pro free speech, but you don't want to allow someone else free speech, and you're allowing, a foreign country to basically make it so we can't criticize certain things. Doesn't make sense. If you can criticize Hillary and Trump and white people and black, why would you not be allowed to criticize something? Why would you not be allowed to call it out? You can, and people are like, well, anomaly, Ilhan Omar's really bad, so I'm allowed to lie about her. No, you're not. If she's really bad, lead with that. If Louis Farrakhan's really bad, lead with what he says. But people start to find out, at least with Farrakhan, and I know this is probably unpopular, but whatever, mostly everything that people said about him is exaggerated. Some of it's real, and it's out there, and it's questionable, and you're allowed to question it. You don't have to agree with it. You could say it's crazy or wrong, but if you have to exaggerate and lie to get to your goal of crushing Ilhan Omar and Farrakhan, you're not right. If you want to crush her career, do it with the truth. Do it with something that's so obviously honest that people can't deny it. Don't justify for yourself that you're allowed to lie because it's for the better good. That's what liberals do, and I can't stand it. They say, no. We love women and children and the border people, so we're going to lie, we're going to cheat, we're going to steal, we're going to crush everyone in our path because we're so virtuous. Don't become that. We can't become that. You feel what I'm saying? And someone said CAIR is awful. I agree. I mean, I don't know enough about it, but I'm sure. And that's the type of stuff, my brother Maxim, that's the type of stuff people should be talking about. They should say, oh, you want to talk about APAC? Let's talk about CAIR. Let's talk about Muslim Brotherhood. I'm fine with that. I'm not trying to cover that stuff up. Talk about it, because there are other organizations. It's not just APAC that's lobbying. There's so many lobbyists, and there's so much foreign influence. Talk about it all. Bring it all up and come to the conclusion of what's right and wrong. I love that stuff. I want you to talk about CAIR. What I don't want people to do is censor and silence and lie. Like, talk about that. Talk about the One American News Network report. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of sketchy stuff. And it's like saying you can't criticize Americans, but we can't. We should criticize Americans. And I'm starting to realize that the right wing doesn't want to say certain things. And also there's a lot of right wing people and left wing. It seems like they won't say certain. They're like, we're sorry. It's like, dude, they won't apologize for anything. But Charles Wan said, you were great on the War Room. Could you please comment on your experience? Sure. Thank you guys for joining too. And I want to say too, I really do appreciate, I'll comment on a second, but I want to say, I really do appreciate everybody. I'm super humble. I'm super grateful. I'm super appreciative of all the support and love. If people follow me on Twitter, I don't know if everyone here does, but I say certain things, and I love these live streams because anything I say, it's in full context. You can hear my tone. You can see my facial expression, so you can understand better. On there, I say certain things, and what really bothers me on Twitter, I just want to say, I'm not hateful or ungrateful at all. I don't mind when people question my beliefs. I love a good intellectual debate. When I ban people and get annoyed, and it is internal too, I could handle it better, which I'll work on. But I don't like when people concern troll me, as they call it, where they're like, anomaly, you've seen so dark these past. I'm so concerned about, there's millions of ways to help me. One of the ways is not acting extra concerned, when honestly, my last live stream was on point. So is this one. I mean, there's elements of it that could have been different, but I'm not suffering in any way, shape, or form. I feel good. I am working a lot, but I don't like people who are nasty or negative or energy drainers, or people that are saying it's kind of like the Ilhan Omar thing. You can question me, you can question her, but don't lie about it. So that's when people start being nasty and lying about it, and they're like, no, I'm just quite, no, you're lying. there's a difference between discussing and debating and like just being nasty, negative, and annoying and lying. That's the type of stuff I don't like. So it's like, I just want to explain that here because a lot of people are like, dude, Nanama, you're losing it. No, I'm not. I'm having a great time. Honestly, I'm having fun. And besides the creepy Beto stuff, that was annoying. But that's yeah, it's the word, the passive aggressive. I support you, but let me drag you down. Like when people listen to my stream, you could say I'm this or that, but like I'm building people up. They're like, I'm writing songs, I'm starting a business, I'm inspired. You give me faith for my kids. Like that's what I'm doing. I'm going upwards. So don't latch onto me and pull me down and be like, oh, I'm helping. Look how much I'm helping, and I'm helping. I'm so worried about you. I'm so scared. Watch your back. Like, ugh. Get off. Get off me. That's how I feel sometimes. I'm human. Anyway, someone said with the super chat, can you talk about your war room experience? Yeah, sure. Overall, I think it was pretty good, but I'm not gonna lie. I was a little annoyed, and I got over it. So, but the second clip, I just felt like they took out of context, and I felt like they were framing me. And I feel like I might be wrong because everybody that watched it said it was great. But like this, I've done so much stuff, and the second clip was like it was like me saying something about David Duke, and I get what I was saying for sure, like, and it makes sense. And honestly, I just like what I'm explaining is how racist the liberal media is. So I was using him as an example of like, dude, you're getting way crazier and way worse and way more racist and way more hateful than the people that you claim are the most hateful. And it's very alarming. It's like, it says a lot about you if that's how bad you're getting. And they took a weird part of it, I felt like, in the worm, the second clip they used. And I just felt like it was a setup. Like I've done hundreds of videos. I have a lot of things that are very pointed and very analytical. And that was a part that was super loose and like it wasn't in full context. I didn't have like the lead up of what I said. And it just felt weird. Like if Fox News did that to me or MSNBC, I would be like, they just set me up purposely. They're trying to make me look crazy and get a headline that makes me look really, really bad. So, I hit up Harrison afterwards from InfoWars, and I was like, dude, why in all of the clips that you could have picked, why did you pick that clip? And he apologized and was like, I'm sorry. And it's okay. I mean, it's I'm sure an honest mistake. But to be honest, I know I did a lot of good stuff on InfoWars or whatever, but it really didn't make me want to ever work with them again. And it really kind of ticked me off. If you want me to be completely honest, it's just like, it just seemed like a horrible clip to use out of everything. Like I was just like, man, why? And I'm not mad. I mean, Harrison texted me, and I think he's a good guy, and I don't think he meant to do that. But it's like if MSNBC or Fox or anyone else did what they did clip wise, I would be like, all right, they're not trying to make me look good. They're trying to make me look as crazy as possible, and they're trying to frame something out of context to really bring the press down on me. So it was like, I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. I was quite annoyed afterwards, but I'm okay now. I appreciate that they apologized and said they didn't mean to. That means a lot. You know what do you guys get what I'm saying or no? Anybody who watched that clip, like the second clip they took out of it's like, dude, of all the things I've said, and I told them nothing's off limits as far as like, I'll talk about anything. I'm not afraid to talk about anything, but like that out of everything I've done, that's the clip that you use. It just seemed like a frame. And I don't think it was, but I didn't. You asked me to talk about it with the super chat, so I've always I'm sure most people said they didn't get that out of it. It's just like it didn't sit well with me, but I really do appreciate the fact that they reached out, and I'm cool with them. It's all love. It's just like, it wasn't my favorite thing, to be honest. But yeah, no, I've always appreciated their content and their perspective. I like Alex is somebody like Owen and Alex are different, but what I say to a lot of people is Alex and Owen are really good entertainers, and they're very flying all over the place. And some people, it turns them off to that because Alex can seem crazy and Owen can seem crazy. But to me, the overarching theme of what they're talking about and the overarching goal of what they're talking about and the overarching truth of what they're talking about is extremely valid. And me personally, I like that more than other people who just dive in and out of truths, but I find that their overarching agenda is not a good one. I don't want to name names, but there's a lot of people who they're like, oh, they're so woke, but I'm me personally as a consumer, I don't trust them that much and I don't like them in a weird way, or maybe not so weird way for some people. Alex and Owen, I trust more because I feel like their overarching goal seems to be more accurate than a lot of other people. Even though they might seem most energetic and wild, I personally appreciate them a lot more than a lot of other analysts. See, I'll answer this comment too. Sheepless in Seattle said you lost credibility going on there. So I want to address this because a few people said this to me. I've been on Daily. People were like, you should go on Daily Wire. I've been on it. I have a great interview with Andrew Klavan. I'm going to be on ABC Talk Radio soon. I've been on a lot of things. To me, it's such a foolish statement, and I'm not going to let it really bother me. But to say I lost credibility for talking to someone, if CNN gave me the right opportunity, I'd talk to them. I'd talk to Van Jones. I'd talk to Anderson Cooper if it was the right situation. I'd talk to MSNBC. I'd talk to Ben Shapiro. I'd talk to anybody. I'd talk to Louis Farrakhan. I know that bothers a lot of conservatives. I'll talk to anybody if the situation feels right to me and I know it's a situation that can help people. I'll talk to anybody. So the fact that people claim that they're supporters of me, and this is not an echo chamber, you could think that, but the fact that you would say you lost all credibility by going and speaking on InfoWars, then it just doesn't make sense. It has nothing about me has changed. I talked to them for 20 minutes. Why would that destroy my credibility? These are people that, no offense to you, I appreciate you for joining, but these are people that are not going to respect me and like me long term because they're like, go on Daily Wire. Why? Like, what does it matter who I talk to and have conversations with? It's if they have an audience who's willing to listen and give me a shot, then that's my goal. It's to reach people. What's so crazy about me going on InfoWars and speaking the same thing I speak here on InfoWars, or going to Daily Wire or going to CNN and getting to say the same? There's no losing credibility by doing that. I'm actually, you could say what you want, but that's just such a fake narrative that, yeah, some people think it's a badge of honor. Some people think it's losing credibility. Some people think it's the greatest opportunity in the world and it makes you. Some people think it doesn't do any of the sorts. But to say that it destroys credibility is that's such a ridiculous narrative. And I find a lot of people that say that, they're like, oh, go on Daily Wire, don't lose your credibility. It's like, dude, you're listening to too much Ben Shapiro. I like a lot of things Ben Shapiro does, but I find him very disingenuous in many ways. I think he kind of has his people in like a mind control chamber where he's like, Alex is crazy. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. And then literally you find out that he told you the truth about economics. He told you the truth about how bad the Democrats were. He's got, pointy one-liners, but the overarching agenda of Ben Shapiro, I find it very weak and disingenuous and fake and dishonest. So I don't know how going on that's a safe network. That's like eat your P's and Q's, get the donor money, sell people death certificates and 21andMe packages, and you'll be okay. There's nothing safer, more respectable about that. I'd rather go on InfoWars than that. I'll talk to Ben too, but it's like the people that tell me you lost your credibility by going on InfoWars, go on Daily Wire. It's like, dude. And then I hear like Ben he does a really great job at a lot of things. And I really like Klavan. I went on his show. I like Klavan a lot, and I'll have him on here sometime. But it's like, dude, some of these, it's like, I know everything because I listen to him. It's like, dude, Ben, if you want to talk about how, the truth is a root. And at the bottom of the root, you have to understand that you don't know everything because the truth of the universe and the world is complex. We're never going to know everything. So to me, it's like, dude, Ben is not even close to the root. Ben is a master, and I'm not disrespecting. I don't even know if you feel this way. It's just he skirts above the top layer and he does a lot of anti-good SJW work, but dude, the truth is 5 layers deeper. And it's like he never even comes close to some of the deepest diving topics. And when other people do, a lot of times he throws them under the bus and says, they're crazy, they're kooky, don't listen to him. You'll lose your respect if you go on that platform. No way, Trump's so crazy. It's like, dude, if people listen to him in 2016, there would be no Brett Kavanaugh, there would be no conservative judges, there would be no President Trump. Imagine our country. And I can't speak on that because I was, third party confused in 2016. But this is someone who's been conservative his entire life. He's in the conservative movement, and he was a never Trumper. And I'm not trying to hold it against him. I'm just saying there's nothing I'm losing credibility by talking to people on InfoWars. And all the people who say that, it's like the stuff that they're watching is not the full circle. It's something. It's definitely good to hear. Like, Ben's not bad. I always compliment him, but I find that his audience is very, very snarky. They're very, very close-minded, and they have this like insatiable hate for people who go way deeper than Ben. It's like, oh, they're crazy. Ben could beat him in a debate. Then he should debate Alex Jones if he's so smart and great. Why didn't he debate Alex Jones? He ignored him. He made fun of him. He called him weird and all this stuff. And then Alex got deplatformed. That's what I think. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we'll go 5 more minutes. Thank you guys for joining. Then I'm going to take these clips and I'll probably make it a little more virally and put it onto Facebook. And I'm not hating, just for the record. I'm not hating on Ben. I'm just telling my perspective, and that's my message to people who say that I'm losing credibility because I speak to people who they don't want me to speak to. I am not a puppet. I'm not owned. I don't do what the donors want me to do. I don't do what conservatives want me to do. I am free. I am here to break the matrix. The real red pill is breaking the matrix. The real red pill is not being a conservative and following George Bush into Iraq. That's not what the red pill is about. The red pill comes from the matrix, and it's about realizing what the world really is. It's not just conservatism, although I would argue that obviously conservatives seem to be getting it a lot more, and they're on the right side of history in a lot of ways. But I'm breaking the matrix, and I'm that type of person. When someone tells me I can't do it, then I do it. So when people think I'm mad or upset, I'm not. I take all the energy and I use it to turn me into a monster in a way. Not a bad monster, but like oh, okay, now I got to go do that. Don't say that. I'm like, okay, now I got to say, you can't go there. All right, now I got to go talk to them. I'm not owned. And when people tell me not to do it, I'm like, all right, this is what people need to hear. Let's see what we're talking about. You done some yoga today, dude? No, I need to do more, but I wanted to do this stream because I really like what Floyd said. You know, Floyd crushed it. And the Beto wall, like, dude, Beto wants to tear a wall down, and they're giving ISIS puff pieces. I had to just get this done, and then I'm going to probably chill this weekend. Thank you so much, Heather. Appreciate it. I'm not sure the title of the clip, Sully. I see your thing, but I don't exactly know. Wild Iris, I'm not going to ban you, but I'm just going to let you know that's something that's going to get you banned in the future. And this is not, I don't care when people see here. I'll give what you said, Wild Iris, as an example so people understand if they care. People, if they're saying this on, they clearly care. I don't ban people for disagreeing with me. I don't care people. I don't ban people for getting different perspective. I ban people who are ignoring and obnoxious and phrase it in a way where they're telling me to do something I don't want to do. Wild Iris said, you need to get out of Cali. Wild Iris, you need to get out of this chat. You might get banned. Now you're annoying me even more rereading it. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to leave Cali because you want me to leave Cali, or you listen to people who say that all the time. Don't tell me what to do. And you have to understand, there's tens of millions of families in this state that can't leave. Not everybody's a two-faced coward. Not everybody wants to run away to the woods and, isolate themselves. Art of war. Isolation is not always the best strategy. So I'm fine. And there's millions of patriots out here, and there's millions of good people, and there's millions of wise people, and there's millions of amazing souls and spirits, and I have plenty of really good friends and really good stuff going on. So don't tell me to leave a state that you could say, hey, Anomaly, have you thought of this? Do you want, no, get out of there. Get out of there. No, you get out of there. Get off the computer. Go away. You're annoying. This is why people get banned. And this is a perfect example. Don't tell me what to do in a nasty, snarky, annoying way when you don't know what you're talking about. I speak to families out here. They're born and raised here. They don't have anywhere to go. And it's because of cucky people like you, no offense, that America's turning into the way it is, because they're like, let's just run away. Well, guess what? There's going to be nowhere to run soon, buddy. Your state's going to turn into California. Oh, normally run away like me and be a coward. No, you run away. You go leave the country, go to Philippines. Why don't you go away? I'll tell you what to do. Texas almost got taken over. Florida almost got taken over. There's going to be nowhere to run. If people keep cowardly running away and all the liberal communists run to Florida and Texas and Tennessee and try to make it blue, don't tell me what to do. That's so annoying. The more I think about it, the more I want to ban you. I'm not going to ban you now, but you can ban yourself if you want, or realize I don't ban people for disagreeing with me. I don't ban people for debating me. I love intelligent discussion and debate. I banned annoying people who try to tell me what to do or say something that doesn't, like, oh, no, dude, you got to go. You go away. So annoying. People like that get banned. Diane Zajic says, see, Pence is in Poland for Warsaw Summit. Only coverage. NBC's Andrea Mitchell spread more fake news saying Warsaw ghetto uprising against a Polish Nazi regime. Yet they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, Poland is rejecting globalism and like the mass refugee crisis. So obviously it's Mike Pence in Poland. That's a lot of white going on. Obviously they're not going to give any good reporting there. Too much white. So Jack said, exactly, Cali's my home. I'm not going anywhere. Turn Cali red. There's pros and cons to everywhere too. I'm going to drop a gem of wisdom. A lot of these people, I'm not saying you specifically, but a lot of these people, you can see their own shortcomings and flaws and like, you know, problems with themselves, and they project it onto other people. Like there's a lot of amazing people here. If you can't enjoy yourself anywhere, sometimes the problem is you. So it's like you can move, you could change houses, you could change states, you could save some tax money, you can you know, find a lifestyle that fits you. But some people are always running. And there's a lot of people on the conservative side who use hating liberals as a way to mask their own insecurities and shortcomings in life. And they think that making fun of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez with memes all day and just posting on Twitter about libtards is going to make them happy or complete or successful. And it's not true. So it's like a lot of these people, it's like sometimes people had a problem and they had to leave. Like, you're like, oh, I messed up. So now I want, you got to take my path. It's like, I'll give you an example. It's like the overly religious person, and it's fine to be religious. I'm not hating on it, but sometimes there's people who screwed up a lot in life. Like they screwed up so much and then they ran to Christianity and then they ran to Jesus Christ. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's a beneficial thing to do that can help your life. But they treat me like I screwed up as much as them. They're like, dude, you got to do it. You got to act like this. You got to grip onto it, but not actually live it. You got. No, I don't have to do that because I'm not you. So my way of talking to God and Jesus Christ is totally different than yours. And you got to respect that. It's like people try to force their own lifestyle onto you sometimes. You got to go. You got to do this. No, I don't. I don't have to do that. You might have to do that because you can't find another way to actually do it. And that's fine. I don't tell you what to do. I don't tell you how to live or where to move or what religion to believe or how to pray to God. So why in the world would you do that to me? And it goes on the right and the left, obviously, but it's like a lot of these Trump derangement syndrome people, you can tell it's all their own shortcomings and flaws. They're shaving off their heads. They hate themselves. They're going full psycho. They're blaming their sex life on Trump. It's not Trump. It's not conservatives. It's you. You become a psycho and you have huge issues. It goes on the right and the left. And I know this is probably something I didn't need to say, but you know, it sparked that. I see people do that where it's like, dude, that's the type of stuff that really grinds my gears. And before I leave, I want to say real quick too, there's like, we all have a power and an energy. And I'm not, like I said, I want you to question me. I want you to disagree with me. Someone says LA is awesome. It is awesome. There's a lot of flaws in California. There's a lot of shortcomings with politicians, but the people are good. The energy is good. The lifestyle is pretty good on a scale of humanity. And even like there's certain parts you could save money, but the reason you could save money is because no one really wants to live there. It's not that bad. If I'm in trouble, like there's a difference between trying to help me and being like, Anomaly, I have a good spot for you to move in Texas, to like leave Anomaly. Like that's what do you guys, I know you guys get it. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference between helping someone and concern just being like a passive aggressive annoyance pester, low energy drainer. And I'm not trying to pick on the one person who said that, because this is like hundreds of people who do this to me. If you want to help me, there's millions of ways. You can watch, you could share, you could say something nice. And I don't, people are like, oh, normally you only want people to compliment you. No, I don't like look at the compliments like, haha. It's at the point where it's like, whatever at this point, but I want people to disagree with me. But if you really want to help, you could share, you can support or donate, you can tell a friend, you can reach out to me and try to start a business with me. You can, try to help me manage a tour. You can help me try to produce things. Or someone reached out to me, I want to build an app or a program, like maybe a new Patreon if no one does it right. And like someone you really want to, if you really want to help, there's one of 10,000 ways you can really help me. If you want to hurt me in disguise of helping me, be annoying, tell me what to do, even though you have no idea what you're talking about. Like those are things that it's not really helpful. And that's my pet peeve. That's why liberals piss me off so much, because they're wolves in sheep's clothing. They're pretending to help and heal everybody, but they're really doing so much damage and destruction that it's not helpful. And it's my pet peeve. That's why I go so hard at liberals. I don't like bullies. And I just don't like people who are like always projecting bad energy. Anomaly, your live streams have been so dark and desolate. Watch my last live stream with Jesse Smollett. It's pretty fire. I just bang, bang, bang. I'm having fun. I'm calm. I'm chill. Like there's nothing dark about that live stream. It's really good reporting. I re-listened to it because I make sure I didn't mess up or anything. And it's pretty good. I'm happy with it. So it's like, by saying you're dark, you're desolate, watch your back, watch yourself, leave. And not like, you are the negative energy. You are the negative energy in my life. If you want to like make my life less stressful, don't do that. Stop being that person who's dragging me down and projecting darkness onto me. Anomaly, you're so dark. You need help. Like you are the problem now. You get what I'm saying? That's like, it's so annoying to me. It's like my biggest pet peeve by far. Someone said, all your works are like filthy rags to the Lord of all your righteousness is put together, and mine and the whole world. I have no idea what that means. I can't, like, that doesn't make me mad. You see, there's a different, like, I don't even know what you said. I can't tell if it was a compliment or like a brutal diss, but I think it's hilarious. Someone said, I think some people are much more sensitive than they care to admit. For sure. I mean, I'm definitely sensitive in certain ways. I'm not even denying that, but like, I don't have to, I'm not Twitter. I'm not providing a public space for everybody. I'm breaking my back, working like 80-hour weeks, making content, doing well, getting, very well rewarded for it. But like, I'm putting everything on the line to go hard every single day. So me blocking someone is not like Jack blocking someone on Twitter, not giving them a public space. Me blocking someone is actually helping everybody by cutting out the fat in my life, cutting out the annoyance in my life, so I can work harder, so I can make 10 videos instead of 7, so I can make 20 videos instead of 15, so I can starting businesses with people who help me by actually helping me, by not hurting me. So when I do this stuff, people are like, dude, you shouldn't. I don't block people for disagreeing or debating me. I block annoying people, and it's a net good. I don't do it because I'm overly sensitive. I do it because it's just like annoying. Like, okay, I know thousands of people. There's like 5 people I would probably let into my house. And there's like, I mean, maybe more left, but it's like, there's like, 20 people that I want to get coffee with. And there's like hundreds of people that I don't really want to see or associate myself with. It's not because I hate them or I'm overly sensitive. It's just like, I am, the way I'm sensitive in my life is, I am very sensitive to like, no, yes, no. And sometimes it's better to ignore. I agree. It's better to ignore than to overly think about it. But like sensitivity has changed my life for the better. I weed things out of my life. This is gone. This is gone. This is gone. Like I'm so analytical and hypersensitive to things in my life. It's like gone, 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 gone. And that's why everything grew. I got rid of all the things dragging me down. You're out. You're out. You're out. This is 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 out. This habit's out. This habit's out. And I still have a long way to go. There's still elements of my life, phone use and all this stuff where I'm like, dude, I got to cut this out of my life. So I'm still working on me by a long shot, but it's that element. That's why people are like, don't do that. If I never did that, I wouldn't be here. You know, there's things I could work on, but being that type of sensitive, it's not like thin skinned, like I can't handle criticism. It's like sensitivity as far as like, I don't watch television. I don't take pills. I don't listen to liars. You know, I don't promote the people I hate. Anytime I talk about them, it's in a reformation way to just poke it out there, say something about it, and then leave it. And then people are like, you promote them all. No, I say it. And I'll get messages and people like literally I'll be like, people will see it and be like, dude, that was a tough red pill to swallow because I'm conservative and I realized I shouldn't talk about her. Like I don't just harp on things over and over and over and over again. I do it to be effective and I leave. You can debate and say it is or isn't effective, but then I would ask you, let's see your resume. You know, if you say I'm not good at basketball, yeah, okay, are you? If your resume is non-existent, then it's like, I don't know. The criticism and the critique doesn't really make that much sense to me. You know, it's like, that's just how I feel. And you could feel another way, but I am very analytical and sensitive about a lot of things as far as like, no. But it's like hanging out with a friend who sucks. You're like, I could do without you. Someone said, I take pills, I'm epileptic. That's a different story. I'm not knocking pills. I guess I should say this when I talk bad about them all the time. We're way overprescribed and they're making a killing off of millions of people taking pills that don't need pills. Some people need pills. Some pills save lives. But I just feel like a majority of people are taking these crazy pills and they're like, I'm depressed. And it's like, dude, stop taking psycho pills. Red pills are different. But that's just my thoughts. I don't know. I say stuff like this and people don't like it sometimes, but I feel like the ones who really listen, and these aren't the most popular sections of my live stream, but the people who really listen to these parts of it, to some people, I feel like this is probably their most favorite part. I could talk about Floyd Mayweather. I could talk about Beto and how annoying he is. And I got hyped up because it's like, dude, what he's doing is so terrible. But, you know, it's like, this is the type of stuff that helped me change my life. And I had to hear it from some people. And you don't have to be the smartest person. You don't have to be the strongest person. But wisdom is hearing the truth from anyone, from me, from Farrakhan, from Jesus Christ. Like if it's true, it's true. And I'm just using examples, but it's hearing that and acknowledging it and applying it. That's what changed my life. If I was stubborn and foolish to the high extreme, I wouldn't be here at all. I wouldn't be in this mindset. So I pass this stuff on, and I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to hear about this. Oh, this is getting annoying. You're getting egotistical. I say this stuff so people can get an inner glimpse of where I'm at and where I was and see if it applies to your life. If it doesn't, that's fine. Maybe you already know it. Maybe you never considered it. Maybe you don't agree with it, and all of that's okay. But what one man's trash is another man's treasure. And I feel like a lot of these moments, they're definitely not the most popular, but I guarantee you there's got to be at least a few people that have heard that, considered it, applied it, and seen results from it. I hope so. All right. I'm going to take maybe one more question and then we're going to roll out. Thank you guys so much. But God bless you. God bless America. God bless your family and God bless the world. I really don't like to get like I got fired up at Beto today, but the dude is just like, what else? At what point does it just get to like, dude, they're giving ISIS puff pieces and this dude is admitting he would tear down the wall? Like, I'm trying to like, at what point is it like the military and the police are going to have to get on this? Like the Jussie Smollett situation, this is just the beginning. If they start running around like attacking our own people and tearing down national security stuff, they're tearing down statues. Like, dude, at what point is that going to be a national crisis? Because you can't just You can't just tear down the fence and be like, oh, I would do that. I'm going to block. It's like, dude, stop. You can be liberal. You can be progressive. You can oppose the wall, but you can't go tear down the wall. Like, this is so ridiculous. And he's getting so much credit. He's like, walls end lives. Like, you don't have to be pro Trump to know that walls don't end lives. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Of course, walls work in almost every. Just thinking about it is annoying. That's the type of stuff. Like, if Beto was following me, block. I'd block him. Not because he disagrees with me, just because he's just like annoying. Justin Bell, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. All right, I'm out, guys. God, no, and that's the thing. Someone said it always ends in blood. Historically, for sure. But that's why I go so hard now. Because I am really, truly this peaceful where I don't condone violence at all. And I don't want to see that happen. But it's like the liberal path, they're almost manifesting it in every which way. It's like they're stirring up every pot. They're stirring up everything. They're stirring up everything. They're calling everyone bad people. They're stirring. And then they, oh my God. You're doing all of this. This is like a warning in the most kind, chill way ever. I don't condone any of it, but like, you keep pushing, punching, but oh my, stop, Beto, stop, bro. Liberals, relax. This can't be fun for you. This can't be fun. You can't be sitting at your HuffPost computer and being like, oh, I'm having a blast. This can't be fun. It's not fun for us. And I'm getting like, my path is starting to be the path that everybody wished they took, because they're like, ooh, man, I wish I would have done that. Yeah, it's fun to not lie and tell the truth and make hard decisions. It's been tough, but like, it's going to start to pay off. And that fake industry of lying and politicians taking money, and people that are just doing what other people tell them to do, and fake social justice, that's going to become the wrong path. And it's already starting. And people that are leftists are waking up and being like, you know what? I don't agree with Anomaly and everything, but he's not lying. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that wave is coming, and it's already here. So this is a friendly warning. It's like, stop, dude. You're losing people. You're losing support. And it's going to get very, very unfun for you. And I don't want to see something bad happen. So I'm trying to stop it from happening. Just like in the Democratic Party, I told them, if you guys do this to Bernie, you're gonna fracture the party. And if you don't handle it better, all they had to do was give Bernie some phony position, and they would have won the election. They could have been like, Bernie Sanders is the leader of the environments, and he's the promoter of drafts, and he is going to look over the water in Native America in North Dakota. They would have won the election. They could have easily beaten Trump if they had Bernie supporters. I'm just saying, even if you like Trump, you got to understand it was pretty close. And with all Bernie supporters, Hillary probably could have won. They didn't do that. So then now they're acting like they're all mad at me and getting crazier. I told you this 2 years ago. I said, if you do this to Bernie Sanders, if you act this way, you're going to lose the election. And then sure enough, they lose the election, and they're going to lose this next election. Sure enough, they're going to lose this next election. It's not a winning strategy, Beto. You don't have to be a conservative or like Trump to be this crazy. Like, someone in the Democratic Party needs to come out and be like, hey, this is, maybe it's Howard Schultz, even though he's not in the Democratic Party anymore. This is getting nuts. We gotta transition, because it's only going to empower the right wing. I'm not empowering the right wing. You are. I'm not empowering racism. I'm lowering it. You're empowering racism. You're empowering sexism. I show clips of smart Black people and smart Hispanics and smart Asians and smart women, and people watch that and go, you know what? I'm way less sexist and racist than I used to be, if they are, but most people really aren't. And then other people, you keep doing all this weird stuff, making everyone mad at each other, and you're like, no, we own all the organizations. They're all front groups that don't do anything. God bless you. And Scotty said he's talking about the Jews. There's everybody's involved in it. I'm telling you, it's not just the Jews, although they're a small percentage of people who have a ridiculous amount of representation, and they are, big power players. But I talked to my right-wing Jewish friend today, and I said the same thing. That's why I brought that up. Right-wing Jews make people less anti-Semitic. Left-wing Jews make people more anti-Semitic. And it just so happens that like an overwhelming majority of Jews are voting for Democrats, So it's not all Jews, but they're obviously a small percentage of the population who own a lot of stuff and definitely do get their hands on a lot of things, but it's not like it's never the play to hate an entire race. Or like, I get it, like, it's something that a lot of people don't understand, but there's good, you gotta understand, there's really good Jewish people, there's really good Israelis, there's really good people of every race, religion, and gender. It's just the leadership is not so great, and the cultural Marxism has gotten so strong that it's gotten to like peak level delusion. And I say this stuff because it's Hasidic Jews who are actually most religious and more conservative that have to deal with all this BS that liberal ones do. But I mean, dude, white liberals are just as bad. It's like, and so are black liberals. I mean, it's pretty much just left-wing ideology and cultural Marxism. But obviously, there's certain people who have higher level positions and certain people who don't. But I don't buy into it's. I don't like to blame an entire group of people because I have a lot of support, and I just like that's where you got to get off the internet sometimes. And I'm talking to myself here. I need to get off right now. Go have a conversation with somebody. When you have a conversation with like a big black woman who, and I'm just saying big because she was big, I'm just being honest, that loves Jesus and gets it, you realize it's, that's all love. When you have black friends and gay friends that like get it, like my gay black friend who's a dancer, he's more obsessed with the Jussie Smollett situation than me. He's always like, dude, look, this kid's lying. It's not all gay black people that work for Empire. Like there's a lot of people in the industry in California that know that it's a hoax. It's like, you got to interact. That's the good thing about cities. You start to realize, like last night I was at some 70s bar and there was some trans like singer. She was like trans guy or whatever, I think. Hopefully, if not, I just made a huge mistake. But amazing singer, saying incredible singer, incredible entertainment. Then you realize, what? It doesn't really bother me that much. As long as you guys don't go full psycho and try to like, do all this weird stuff and beat up women in wrestling, it's not a big deal. You gotta meet good Jews. You gotta meet, good trans people or whatever. Like, you don't have to agree with everything, but like expand your horizon. I think people sit too much online sometimes, including myself. Trust me, I'm the biggest culprit. And we don't get out there enough. And when you talk to people in the real world, you realize that Democrats in the real world and liberals in the real world, they're being lied to and misled, and they're being misrepresented because they don't believe half the crap that they say on this news either. They just don't like Trump, and they're like lost puppies. They don't know where to go. So, don't hate on people, and don't hate on whole groups of people. I don't think that's ever the play. But you can be critical. Like you see me clearly, I'm critical. But when I say this stuff, I'm not just talking to Jews or anything. There's, like I said, it's a number of them that are doing it, but it's millions of people, if not billions now. And at the high levels, now you have so much cultural Marxism. There are other races and religions that are to blame. And I want to say this too. It's our fault. Like, you can't just blame, you can call them out, and you can definitely shed light to things that conservatives will want to do. Clearly, I have no problem with that. But if they do it and people put up with it, it's not their fault. It's people for dealing with. You know what I'm saying? It's like if people keep following it, I don't even blame the people at the top anymore. I'm not like, oh, it's their fault. And the people at the top aren't really even at the top. But it's not their fault that people keep falling for it. Like, why would they stop? If everyone, like, it's up to us. That's where it comes in. It's up to us at the ground level to just be smarter. We don't have to buy the products. We don't have to elect these politicians, but we keep doing so. And a lot of the reason is like we blame certain people, whether it's the whites or the Jews or the blacks. It's like, no, it's all of us. We're all kind of collectively screwing up, and we're repeating the same mistakes over and over and probably getting dumber. So that's just what I wanted to say, because I see a lot of that in there, and I don't address it all the time, but I do think there is something that conservatives don't get going on, and I've been very vocal with it. I'm not hiding it. I've said it 5 times already in this stream, but I don't agree with the blaming the entire group. You got to expand your horizon. That's what I think. But let me know what you think. God bless you. God bless America. God bless your family. God bless the world. I'll be back sometime.